My next guest is the founder of employer brand and recruitment tech strategy firm TalentNet Media. Apart from leading global marketing, employer brand, and recruitment innovation at Allegis Global Solutions, he's also led talent acquisition teams at Fortune 500 organizations, owning the recruitment process, marketing, and technology. His digital brand methods have been adopted as best practices by companies like LinkedIn, Toyota, Yum, Microsoft, and many more. He's the author of Inbound Recruiting and a popular keynote speaker at tech, social media, HR, recruiting, and sales conferences worldwide. He also runs the largest recruiting conference series in the Southwest in the US called TalentNet Live. Craig Fisher, welcome to Talent Blazers.
Thanks, Dave. Great to be here. Hi, everyone. I am so thrilled to be with you today.
And we're thrilled to have you. For those who don't know who TalentNet Live are, what are they?
Yeah, so TalentNet Media, the company, is we do recruitment operations that includes marketing, employer brand, tech stack, and best practices for organizations of all kinds. And TalentNet Live is the conference we have where all the employers that we do work with and others come together with their teams and meet all my friends who speak at a bunch of conferences every year and members of the audience from previous years. So if you're a good audience member and enthusiastic and have something to contribute, there's a very good chance that I will give you a call and tap you on the shoulder to speak at the next TalentNet Live conference. And we have this wonderful little universe where the technology partners who sponsor the event get to meet all of the people involved, and we bring it all together in a very intimate environment. It's great.
And you just had one, right? One just finished up last week.
Yeah, we just had one on Friday, and first time back fully in person in a couple of years, and rousing success.
What was one or two themes to come out of it?
Yeah, so a lot right now is about recruitment process, getting to candidates quickly after you can even get them to apply is a big deal right now because they've got so many choices. And one of the biggest problems with that is we make it too easy to apply. You just click a button now, right? And there's not much more to it. So it's a situation where if you don't get back to a candidate quickly, they've already heard responses from 15 other employers, and you get pushed to the bottom of the pile.
I feel like there's a need for companies to create videos to help in that process. Why do you think employee stories are important to candidates who are applying for positions?
Yeah, so it's a differentiator, right? So if you're just a flat, static employer with just a job description on a job board or an ad, it's not the same as being more 3D and 360 with an employee story. So we know that ads do better than flat graphics on advertisements, and we know that job seekers value the opinions of employees and managers over that of companies. And so it just is natural progression. And what we've come to know as our standard best practices in the industry is to show off your employees.
So it sounds like companies can start winning the culture war to really push people further down the funnel. What does an optimized employee story look like? Is it a 30-second video? Is it they answering one question, 5 questions? What are you seeing that's kind of neat at the moment?
Yeah, so my answer to that is going to be yes.
Can't just say yes.
Yeah, no, you should record anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes with your employees, and then have available all different sizes of snippets, right? I mean, you need 15-second ads, 30-second ads, 5-second ads, And then you need some longer clips, up to 3 minutes, for places like LinkedIn, where you can have employees or your career brand post directly and have people share.
Yep.
Multiple options from the same interview is the most expedient way to go about that.
Yeah, and you just mentioned one of the distribution platforms, LinkedIn, and it's popular amongst enterprise, but you're seeing companies innovate as well. What is the importance of distribution in your opinion, and what are some of the platforms companies are using to attract or even communicate to candidates they're wanting to bring into their business?
Yeah, so we're seeing companies request everything now from TikTok to Spotify. Even on Spotify, right? A video ad works better than a flat ad if you're scrolling through songs on your phone. If you don't have the paid version, that's just going to magically come up. And a lot of people are streaming that stuff on their TVs in order to get the sound, right, on their monitors. Yeah. So those ads work very well. Snapchat, every basically social media platform you can imagine, there's an opportunity for advertising, and those employee stories go a long way there. But then also any place an employee can share their own stories, which include, of course, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, et cetera, you name it. You want to give them some of their own clips, right? And say, hey, you're featured. Share this with your network and point a link or, a unifying hashtag back to where people can see more.
Yeah, I really get that. That totally makes sense. What about a place that's less crowded or distracting for a candidate? As you know, LinkedIn, there's just so many brands communicating various messages. Candidates are just moving from one logo or one message to another.
Yeah.
Do you see value in companies thinking about their own career side as their home for engagement?
Yeah, absolutely. So companies would be wise to have sort of a database on their own career site, right? Certainly of different types of employees that candidates could connect with. And then the other thing is, there's no reason not to put all those videos on someplace like YouTube as well. It's great SEO, right? You write a good description about it. It's a little time consuming, but it's well worth it because that's the largest search engine there is after Google, right? And so absolutely, it's easy enough to either host videos on your own site or pull them in from YouTube at this point. You might as well have both channels working.
Yeah, I'm with you. Where do organizations get started? How do they get started? Is it as easy as someone just, pulling out their phone and starting to record, or do you think it just takes a little bit more thought and leadership to be able to get a video strategy off the ground?
Yeah, employees need direction, right? First of all, they need permission. Okay, so you're going to give them permission. You're going to say, we'd love for you to share some of your story and help attract more great people like you. If you want to, we're going to give you some content ideas, and we're going to give you some sort of tone of voice things, some to-dos, some don't-dos, and it's going to be real simple. Literally 5 minutes worth of your time to understand what's going to make a great video for you. And then just practice a little bit. And if you can get that across to multiple employees and just say, we love what you're doing. We'd love you to be a bigger part of our, plan to share our company's great culture with the world. If you're up for it, here's some instructions.
And we were just talking a little bit offline. You gave an example of I won't mention the company's name, but you might, about a competition that they're running to really scale it up to make it fun and apart from just collecting all those internal ambassadors to create employee stories. Do you mind sharing that story?
Yeah, so there's plenty of great companies that I've worked with in the past that not only for referrals, but also for doing great content will share kind of amazing prizes, right? It's easy enough or simple enough to do an Amazon gift card, right, every week for the teammate that does the best or gets the most shares or likes or views of their content. But, some companies like Toyota take it a step further and literally give away a lease for a new car, things like that. So,
amazing.
There are ways to really incentivize your employees to do great stuff.
Yeah. And, so a person who's thinking of getting video off the ground, they're thinking about distribution, they're thinking about the various use cases, they've been able to get business buy-in. How do they keep that momentum going? How do they track ROI? And how do you communicate how they should be thinking about ROI?
Yeah, so there are tools now that you can quickly build UTM codes into links, right? And so a video is very often going to go somewhere, right? You click for more information and, hey, join my team. Here's how easy it is to work here. Click here for more. And if you can put UTM codes in that link, then you can track it all the way through to your applicant tracking system. And those who click, if they get hired, well, that's a really easy metric. But you shouldn't literally put metrics that require hiring as one of the KPIs and indicators of full success for a campaign, because very often, these individual employee videos where they're just posting themselves, that may or may not go to your career site. You may or may not be able to track that all the way through, but it's still good branding. So you can still get put parameters around it. So there's a really good, for instance, you can spend gobs of money on TikTok advertising right now. It's really expensive. But Amazon decided, no, we're just going to get our employees to do self-made videos showing how easy it is to work in one of their warehouses or distribution centers. Okay. There's no link to join my team or anything like that, but there is a hashtag tying it all together, Amazon Careers. Well, that's amazing branding. That's showing up in the peripheral vision of your target audience multiple times before they're ever asked directly to click on a link and apply for a job. That stuff works. If you show up in their peripheral vision 7 times in various ways, they're much more likely to complete a job application. And so the combination of sort of employee posted things and a company posting those things and sharing them to a corporate Instagram page and a careers site and even Glassdoor, and giving that employee, some props for, hey, mad skills here, way to go. We're promoting you on our corporate site, and sometimes that's enough incentive right there to make a great program.
So in summary, by building your brand, it builds trust. You mentioned that they might watch a video 7 times before they make the creative video, make an application. Yeah. Why do you think it's important for these companies to take a longer term, have a vision for where they could be in 6 or 12 months? What is the runway they should be thinking about in terms of executing their video strategy?
It doesn't have to be a long-term thing, right? I mean, you can create videos and put them in ads and get direct results. But the reality is, if you use these videos on multiple places and job candidates are actually checking out your employees because you have created a unifying hashtag across all social media, and they're seeing more and more of what it's like to work at your organization, then the likelihood of them clicking on that ad with a direct link to an application and following through to complete that application are much higher. And these are just standard email marketing tactics, right? If you show up in someone's Facebook feed, even with a terrible advertisement, if you then send them a link through an email to apply for a job, they've seen you. They're much more likely, 70% more likely to click through. And so you do need a long-term vision, because you're constantly pipelining for many, many roles. And a lot of candidates are not going to follow through the first time. They might get rejected for whatever reason, and it could be very arbitrary, and they might still be a great candidate that you want to retarget. And so these candidates don't go away. It's not a one and done situation. You are always trying to remarket to the best people. I mean, your runners up, your alumni, like anyone that can get the word out about a job at your organization is a good target.
That's, I think, a really good note to end. Thank you for joining on Talent Blazers. It's been really insightful, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. Thanks, Craig.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.